Hey everybody, Tanya from Shooting Star SVG back, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about some tips and tricks for colored SVGs. So if this is your first time here, go ahead and click on the like and subscribe below, as that does keep me motivated to continue making these videos so that way you can grow your business and change your life. And if you haven't already, head on over to the Facebook group where we are creating a community of like-minded individuals looking to grow their semi-passive income with digital downloads. So I'm on night shift, asked y'all for some feedback as far as what you want to see, and a few people have requested, how should I handle colored SVGs? And the reason why we want to talk about this is because it could be handled in a myriad of ways. Thankfully, most people know how to utilize the software on their machine, so it's really not that bad, but I just wanted to walk you through a few things so you can see that, and then you can make the decision as far as how you want to handle it in your shop, okay? So I'm going to head over to my computer screen, and we will get started talking about the do's and don'ts for colored SVGs. So as you can see on my screen, I have this shape. Now, if you were to cut this out on your machine, it would cut out this circle and it would cut out this circle. So that way you can achieve this record type shape on whatever you are putting your vinyl on. Now, you might ask me, how in the world do I get that, Tanya? And you can do it in one of two ways. You can design your item so that you have one big black circle and then one in the middle. That way, when the person goes to layer, they just simply lay the red circle on top of the black circle. Now, this method is not the greatest for like regular hard vinyl because as you stack up layers, obviously the design is going to get thicker. Now for HTV, which is heat transfer vinyl, that vinyl is actually going to shrink a little bit. So some people will prefer the method of layering HTV because they don't have to worry about that shrinkage. And so if you look at the second one here, what I have done is I have actually created a duplicate of the middle circle and created a difference between the large circle and the middle. So when the user goes to use their machine, instead of cutting out one big circle with the Cricut or the Silhouette or the Scan and Cut, they will cut out here and they will cut out here, and you would weed this part out of the middle right here, and then you would lay the circle into the middle. That is much easier for regular adhesive vinyl. Again, with the HTV tends to shrink just a little bit, and so that is really not the preferred method for HTV due to the shrinkage. So it really is a personal preference as far as what you want to do and what the end goal of your SVG is going to be. So I know for print and cut, it doesn't matter, okay? Print and cut, it does not matter what you do, because they're just going to print it out and it's going to be in the colors that you chose or the colors that they decide to modify and choose. But for the cutting machines, you can change the vinyl. It doesn't matter. The vinyl is whatever you choose to be. So say I want this circle back here to be blue or green instead of black. I can just choose green vinyl to be cut on my machine. So it's entirely dependent on what the end user is utilizing their machine for, okay? So that is a more simple example, but what I want to show you is a more intricate example so you can see what I mean. Okay, so I've done the two methods here with this unicorn that I pulled off of Google, and all I did was I took the outline and I traced it, and then I broke apart the image and I added in the color. So I did it in two ways. I took the outline, which this is the original outline here, I broke it apart, and when I broke it apart, it gave me this black outline. And so when this will cut on the machine, it will cut the big black outline first, and then it will cut all of these pieces of vinyl based off of the colors, okay, on the machine and how you set that up. And then you would place these pieces back onto the image. Now, for more intricate images, this can be a little bit more difficult if you don't line up your designs properly. And so some people prefer this way. And so what the machine will do is it will cut out this outline. Now the problem with the outline method is that if your lines aren't thick enough, it is really going to be difficult for the machine to cut those lines. And so that is why a lot of people prefer the solid background on the colored SVGs as well, because the outline is just not something a lot of people want to deal with, weeding, because sometimes they can break and then, it just turns into a mess and it frustrates the customer. So you have a few options here, okay? And this is personally what I recommend when it comes to color SVGs. You can follow this or you don't have to follow this. Again, most people who are utilizing their machines know how to work their software. And if they don't know how to work their software, you can provide this to them, okay? So my recommendation is always to provide this top method here, okay? Now, I will tell you when I'm cutting on my machine, I prefer to do this. That's just my personal preference. I would rather have the outline down on my heat transfer vinyl or my permanent vinyl, and then I would rather put the puzzle together. If I'm off a little bit, who cares? That's the beauty of creating things, right? So most people prefer this, and if that's the case, I recommend creating the black outline and having all the pieces put together just like this, and that's exactly what this is here, okay? I just wanted to show you what that looks like. And again, this is the outline version, okay? And you can put an instruction PDF in your document that says you will get this. If you prefer this, then all you have to do is take the layers, okay, select them. Let's see if I'll zoom in a little bit. Select them and go to path difference on your machine, and it will give you the outline that you need. And of course, I forgot to duplicate that before I did it. Path difference, and you can see the outline there instead of the black background that I had previously, okay? So what you can do is you can provide the solid black background and then explain that if they would like the outline, that they can utilize the difference or subtract function depending on what their software is, okay? So I know for Silhouette it is subtract, and I know for Creat, I think, is also subtract as well, but you just wanted to explain that to the end user. In my mind, with SVGs that are going to be utilized for HTV, heat transfer vinyl, or adhesive vinyl, you want to make it as easy as possible. So many people go into SVG designs and they make these intricate designs and then they don't think about what that means for the end customer. Now, if it's a print and cut, that's just, you could do whatever you want. If it's a sublimation, you could do whatever you want. But when it comes to cutting vinyl or cardstock or whatever it may be, you need to think about how the machine's going to handle that. And those small, tiny details are really difficult to deal with. So if you're doing colored SVGs, you want to keep it simple. You want to keep it to like 1, 2, maybe 3 colors at max, and try not to do more than that because the layering can get really difficult. That's all I have about colored SVGs. If you guys have any specific comments, feel free to let me know in the comments box below, or head on over to the Facebook group where we are creating a community of like-minded individuals looking to grow their semi-passive income with digital downloads. And as always, if you got something out of this video, please go ahead and click on like and subscribe, as that does keep me motivated to continue making these videos so that way you can grow your business and change your life. Again, if you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out, and I will catch y'all on the next video. Have a great night.